The conversion rate section features 4 different reports giving you insights into the performance of your website as it relates to its ability to convert traffic. So first, in our dashboard view, which you're beginning to see the theme is every section beginning with that dashboard view, you have a breakdown of conversion rate by channel. One of the things that we like to say is that while CRO activities and improvements of the UX or UI design of your website can be impactful, one of the greatest impacts on conversion rate is actually traffic sourcing. And so this graph helps to illustrate that point, that sometimes the best way to improve your conversion rate is to improve where your traffic comes from. So you'll see this initial breakdown of conversion rate by channel, as well as desktop versus mobile versus tablet. And then you'll see conversion rate, an XY plot, scatter plot of conversion rate by spend for different campaigns that you're currently running on Facebook. Additionally, one of the other things that we care a lot about is site speed. So you can see your overall page load time over the last 30 days, and then the performance of your individual pages to average. This is really important as the aggregate site speed can often hide poor performance in some of your key pages. So being able to identify areas of opportunity for your checkout information or singular product pages and making improvements in specific areas can often make a big difference. Diving in, we have one of my favorite reports in all of Statlas, the iOS Impact Report. This report gives us a view into the performance of your acquisition before and after an impact date related to iOS in 4 different attribution metrics. So here you see for our brand Bamboo Earth, we select in the parameter section an impact date. Most of the time we use May 1st. And while this is primarily meant to allow you to measure performance before and after iOS impact date, you could also use it for launching a new website, hiring a new agency, whatever impact you're attempting to measure before and after, you can use this report for. But in this case, 5/1 is the date that we primarily look at as the time when iOS began to impact Facebook performance. And so what this allows us to see is a before and after view of the performance of our acquisition across myriads of attribution models. Why is this important? Well, in almost every case, we have seen that the decline in reported Facebook performance far exceeds the decline in performance across GA last click or your new customer acquisition in total. And so what this helps us to highlight is the amount of signal loss or attribution delta that might be occurring because of iOS. So you can then see this on a daily basis for the period selected. You can also toggle this graph to look at just the line as it relates to total AMER, your Facebook ROAS as it compares to that, total MER, and then all of them together. So this is really helpful in trying to discern how much of the performance is actual decline versus signal loss that's occurred. Continuing on, we have another report of the page speed metrics. So this gives you the ability to see the performance of individual pages in the load time, as well as the performance across a set of other metrics here as this loads. So you'll see we have page views, unique page views, load time, average time on page, and exit rate. And you can begin to sort of hunt for problem areas. And again, using the color coding to help surface insights is always helpful. So you can see what I would be looking for in this case is areas of very low performance across each of those metrics, and that might help me to begin to design the areas of greatest potential impact. So again, I have this Petite Grain Moisturizer page, and what you'll often see is a relationship between long load times and high bounce rates, right? And so oftentimes you'll see the opposite in many other cases, and that's what you want to go after as much as possible, is to find those areas with red across the board and go and see what changes you can make to improve the experience for the user. Finally, top landing pages gives you more of a revenue-centric view of the different pages on your website to understand their value to you, the conversion rate on those pages, buy to detail rate, and other financial metrics for the different landing pages on your website. This can help us to think about and surface which pages we may want to drive more traffic to or use in a specific funnel. So that report looks like this. So as you can see, again, sessions, new sessions, we have transactions, revenue, and conversion rate now added to this report to give us a sense of the actual financial outcome associated with these individual pages. Now, obviously important to understand that there's a relationship between volume and conversion rate. So just saying that this page has a 17% conversion rate doesn't mean that it's necessarily a higher performing page than one that has a ton of volume and a greater conversion rate. But it is often interesting to compare PDP pages of similar traffic and compare their conversion rate, revenue, load time, bounce time, or even just conversion rate to load time to see the relationship between those metrics as well. So that's all available for you in the conversion rate section. Landing pages can often be a forgotten part of the funnel, but they play a critical role in helping drive your growth as a business.